Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
The original idea for the video essay was going to be concentrating on plot armor, but that's way too big a topic. It would take a much bigger video essay, even for this one episode, which Maul brings up in terms of, well, why are certain people dying? Why are certain people alive? This doesn't make sense, or there's much consistency. And I agree with his general point that the plot armor is distributed very erratically, except in a few cases. And I think, again, not because I'm trying to just hate him or whatever, but I think the cases he chooses, which we're going to focus on, don't quite work out, or they don't work out without controversy. So we're going to hear him complaining how, again, plot armor is really nonsensical, and I'm going to agree partly, but I think he is showing a lot of bias towards a certain character, but we'll get into that. So we're going to focus on plot armor only of a few characters.
So then Arya is attacked and surrounded by zombies, but it's fine because Beric just throws his sword at one of them while failing to pick it back up, resulting in him dying. But then again, the plot armor is so fucking thick in this episode, it takes way more than one stab to kill Beric. More than 2, more than 3, more than 4, more than 5, more than 6. I'm so done. They make like 8 squelchy noises and he just keeps getting fucking stabbed. Armor is fucking worthless in this goddamn show. Why the fuck do any of you wear it? Though it is pretty amusing to watch Beric die in front of a woman that can actually save him and she just doesn't. Like, she could just do the fucking spell or whatever it is that the other guy used to do. She just doesn't. Just let him die, it's fine. So Arya and the Hound hold up in what seems to be the end of the line. They barricade a door and the zombies can't get through because wood can be a bitch like that to the undead. Only Melisandre tells Arya that she will shut blue eyes as well as brown and green, and that she should say, "Not today," when it comes to the god of death. And so we're all expecting her to fight the fucking zombies as they eventually come through, but no. Arya just walks off in a direction, leaving the Hound and Melisandre to the Horde. What the fuck are you doing? Where the fuck are you going, woman? Is there even an exit that way? Is the Hound now dead as a result of this? Can he go too? Could you at least tell the Hound that you're going to abandon him despite him saving your life, you miserable twat? There's supposed to be a fucking Horde washing over this castle and they blocked the door, but all the windows in this fucking room are clear?
Okay, so I guess what we're gathering here is a twofold issue. One is Arya is abandoning the Hound, which I find a little bizarre itself. Okay, but that's what he's saying. Then there's the issue of Melisandre letting Beric die, even if in principle she could bring him back. Well, I think first of all, that's actually not true. I mean, I understand where he's going with this. She's got the red magic power. She should be able to revive him. That's a plot contradiction right there. Why she's just standing around? Well, apparently he's not paying attention to Beric or his story, because I think it was laid out very clearly. This is one part where I actually would defend D&D, that they set up for a while that Beric wants to die. He doesn't want to keep coming back, right? He's coming back reluctantly. The Lord of Light says to him, you've got to keep coming back for the fight. So it's like, okay. But he's made very clear over seasons that in explicit dialogue, he wants to die. He doesn't want to keep living because he doesn't feel fully human. And every time he does come back, he feels less and less of a man. Beric dying is not technically a bad thing for him. He wants to die. Probably not die that way. I do think they screwed up how he got killed and all those kinds of things. I agree there, but his death was foretold for quite a long time, and they did build up to it. And to be fair, in the books, George has him dead already, so we actually get a lot more of Beric in terms of the story for the show than a lot more than we're getting in the books. Again, the books are not complete. I hope Beric comes back, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Beric's story is at an end with the books. Relatively speaking, we actually got a lot more of Beric than we probably should have in terms of the story, so I actually would give them some points. And the acting was really great by the actor, so I'm not quite sure where he's going with this. In terms of Melisandre and Thoros, again, you could argue the other point that Melisandre has the power to revive him, but again, that's why Thoros is not there, right? Thoros is gone. If he's gone, Beric can't come back. I guess generically, Melisandre should have that power, but as far as I understand it, the Lord of Light magic is something that really is not free. You have to sort of be able to invoke it at certain points, at certain times. You just can't use it whenever you please. There are limits to it. Now, in terms of the actual lore, this is an actually interesting question, and I've been playing with some theory videos on this that, well, is Melisandre really usurping the Red God? A lot of people are theorizing that really the Red God and the God of Death that the Faceless Men serve is really the same one. So maybe Melisandre is given all this power, but she's being manipulated by a false god. That's very intriguing. However, in terms of the story for the show, I don't think we get enough, so we can just say that, yeah, presumably the Lord of Light told her that it's his time to go, and his purpose was to save Arya. So you may see a plot contradiction. That's fine. I don't see any at all. There is really no plot contradiction in terms of Melisandre letting people die. Why would she not let people die? She's not there to save everybody. That's not what the Lord of Light does. The Lord of Light is there to serve the forces of light, not necessarily save every single life. So I'm not quite sure where he's going with that. So again, maybe somebody could invoke some parts of the book. As far as I know, what I'm saying is totally canon, but I could be wrong. Now, in terms of the Hound, yeah, this is, I think, just full-blown prejudice on behalf of Hound. But I would say this, that a lot of Hound fans, and there are many, many of them, I recognize that, think that he redeemed himself, or he made a big pivot point, so he's a totally new character. I guess I'm this 1% of the fandom no longer cares, or never cared about this in the first place. He still killed Micah. People just forget that. He killed a boy, and they're sort of like, okay, and? So what if he killed Micah? I don't really care about Micah. I like the Hound. I like him a lot more than Micah. I understand that. I'm just saying in terms of the plot events, it did happen. So him framing it as she's abandoning her lifelong friend, no, the Hound kidnapped her. The Hound hits her. You know, the Hound is very abusive. Right, so I'm not quite sure getting this, that the Hound is the king of virtue and Arya is really backstabbing him. I don't see that at all. But let me try to be fairer than he is, because it feels like I'm just beating up on Maul to beat up on him. Okay, let's just go the opposite direction. Would you concede that there are some things that the Hound does that are pretty good? Oh yeah, I mean, we do see this in the show and in the books, that he does save Sansa, he does help people, he does do things out of pure mercy. He's not, quote, evil all the time. He's very complex. I grant that. That's why he's a fan favorite. I'm just not convinced that he is as good as people think he is. It's sort of people are just wanting to see things that are not there. As far as I know, he's just a pragmatist. Why should we think he's a good person? I don't know. I don't see Arya abandoning anything. I mean, does she really owe him anything? I mean, I would think it's roughly even because she's also helped him. And he's still a pretty evil person. He does do some good things. And I mean, to be totally fair to him, right, it's the mountain, right? The mountain destroyed his psychology. That's all true, but I don't know. The killing of Micah did happen. I understand most of the fans don't care. They diminish it, but it did happen. So I guess I'm just one of those people like, well, let's try to be fair to both sides. I understand the fandom is like going to be very partisan here, but I'm just saying he did kill Micah. It did happen. It's not, unless we're going to go full bore with unreliable narration, that it didn't happen, and that's fine. But as far as I know, it did happen. And if it did happen, I'm not seeing abandonment. I will agree, though, that Arya walking towards the camera is really strange and stupid. I guess that's just a stylistic flair. They wanted to like, hey, it's really kind of cool because you really don't know where she is. So it's like she's walking towards nothingness and you're like, okay, I guess. So we're actually kind of in agreement here that it's not well shot or well directed. But in terms of the Barrack logic, I don't see any major issue. The Hound, I think, is more disputable, but it's frankly, you know, the fan base is just very partisan. They'll just read any positive information on the Hound and diminish the negative information. That's fine. I'm just not a fanatic for the Hound. I don't hate the Hound, but I am like really always puzzled that people just keep forgetting what the Hound did on the other side of the ledger. He's not at all a good person at all. I think that's established very early and very firmly, but I understand people want the redemption story. I just see the evidence as a little weaker than it is. All right, this has been GRRM Analyzed on Selective Plot Armor with Lord Barrack and the Hound in Episode 3. Thanks for listening.